Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I got another deck profile for you guys today. So I finally decided to update my Trickstar deck. In fact, I was just trying to get some cards that I needed to update it. So as y'all can tell, this is basically Sky Striker Trickstars, but it also incorporates the artifact engine as well because it's really hard to play Trickstars pure now because Light Stage went to 1 and Terraforming went to 1. So that took a significant hit to the Trickstar deck by itself, which unfortunately lost so much consistency because before we were running like 5 copies of Trickstar Light Stage, now we're just running 2. And because of that, it's just like, yeah, Trickstars, playing them pure is almost unplayable. I mean, it is playable, but you're not going to have a lot of consistency with it. So I decided to mix in Sky Strikers, not only to give it the draw power it needs, but also because the fact that you have cards like Widow Anchor, which help you disrupt your opponent. You also have Afterburner, which helps you remove monsters, and of course, if you have 3 or more spells, you could get rid of, or you can get rid of a spell and trap that your opponent controls. So that's why I decided to run it this way. And with the artifact engine as well, it helps you lock out your opponent with artifact scythe. So I figured I should go ahead and show you what I got this time around, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this. Alright, so starting off with the main deck, of course, you're still going to be playing 3 copies of Trickstar Candina. This is your Rhoda, or not your Rhoda, your Stratos. Searches out anything that's Trickstar related. 3 Licorice, best card in the entire deck. Just lets you burn your opponent for damage for any time he adds cards to his hand. Now I'm only playing 1 Corbane, because again, without Light Stage being at 3 like it was before, the deck lost so much consistency, and sometimes you have to search one or the other when it comes to Candina. So Corbane just comes up whenever I need it, so that's it. And of course 1 Lilybell, just because, if you add it to your hand, it's a free summon. And plus she's a good way to end the game too, so pretty good way to combo off. Now, a new addition to my deck, I'm playing 1 copy of Phantom Skyblaster. Reason for this is because it's a pseudo, well, it's basically the same as Scapegoat, and plus, like, now you're going to need to produce tokens as much as you can, that way you can further link climb, get 2 cards into, like, Staryu Skull Dread, Boral, actually, no, I'm not playing Boral Sword in this build, I'm playing Boral Low Dragon. I'm also playing Avermax as well, so Skyblaster just helps me get into that. Alright, so now for the artifacts, I'm playing 2 Scythe. Just lock out your opponent from summoning from the extra deck for the duration of the turn. So this is pretty significant, especially against Pendulum players, because, you spring this on them, then they can't Pendulum summon from the extra deck. They can't go into Electromite or anything like that, so pretty good card. One Moral Attack. Reason for this is because it pops spells and traps if it's summoned. Plus, it's another level 5, so I do have 1 rank 5 monster to play in the extra deck, so figured these 2 were just fine, so why not? I actually had to cut down on hand traps in order to, be able to make room for the artifacts, so I'm only playing 6 hand traps now, 3 Ash Blossom, and 3 Drone Lockbird, which I feel like these are 2 of the best hand traps for this format, so definitely something you need to consider, and plus Reincarnation Droll is still a thing, so gotta take advantage of that. Alright, for spells, and this is where we start with the Sky Striker cards. Playing 3 Mobilize Engage, it's not once per turn, it searches out any of your Sky Striker cards, but you have to control no monsters in the main monster zones. Everyone already knows that by now. And if you have 3 or more spells in your grave, you get to draw 1 card. So this is basically your upstart goblin-ish card. So, yeah. 3 Widow Anchor, as I mentioned, this acts as another form of disruption, the fact that you get to negate your opponent's monster effects. Also, you get to take control of the monster if you have 3 or more spells. So, definitely something you need to utilize, of course. 1 Hornet Drones, like I said, tokens are pretty important in this deck, so you gotta, and a lot of the token generators are usually like just limited at 1, so at least this one's searchable, so definitely want to make full advantage of that. And the only other Sky Striker card I'm playing is Afterburner, or you can go with Jamming Waves, one or the other. They both pretty much do the same thing, just one's opposite than the other. But yeah, you generally just want to get free spot removal, so that's why I'm going with Afterburner. Alright, so now this is where we go into the real spice. So, got 1 Light Stage, of course, it's only at 1 Terraforming. It sucks that Orcus are the reason why Light Stage went to 1, but it is what it is. I mean, you still want to play it, of course. 3 Called by the Grave, the staple. Playing 2 Desires, and then 1 Scapegoat. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And now for the trap cards, I'm only running 6. Going to be playing, of course, 3 Reincarnation, still important. It's also your Monster Reborn of the deck. and 3 Artifact Sanctum. If you open up with this, that's great. Just set it and then just spring it on to your opponent. And if your opponent happens to pop it, then it punishes your opponent by destroying one of his cards too. So Artifact Sanctum, definitely a great card. Alright, so now we're moving on to the extra deck. For the Sky Striker monsters, I'm only playing 1 Kagari, 1 Shizuku, and then 1 Hayate. And you don't really need Kaina just because, she doesn't do much for you. So these 3 are the ones you actually need to work with. Of course, you guys still got to play the 1 Holly Angel, Link Karibo, Security Dragon, just requires 2 monsters. For Nightmares, running Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. Like I said, spot removal is always great. Then we got Ningirsu, since his ability does not target or destroy, so it's a good way just to, get rid of monsters that have built-in protection. Topologic Trace Bandit for back row heavy decks. Saryuja Scoldra, which is relatively easy to make in this deck, and you're always going to have a full hand most of the time, so Saryuja Scoldra just kind of uses that a little bit more. 1 Borlo Dragon, or Boral Sword if you have it. I'm just going with Borlo just because, why not? And of course my channel's main headliner, Mechanite Crusader Avermax, is literally my go-to monster at this point, so I always like to rely on Avermax. And again, the only Xyz monster I got is Artifact Durandal. Great card, has 2 different effects. During either player's turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material, and whenever your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, or when a normal spell and trap is activated, the effect will change into destroy 1 spell and trap your opponent controls. So you basically get to pop one of your opponent's cards. And the other effect is just that each player with the hand shuffles their entire hand to the deck and draws the same number of cards. So it's basically Disturbance Strategy, I believe, is the name of the card. So yeah, it's a good way, just to abuse the effects of Licorice. Alright, so now we're moving on to the side deck. Of course, I'm going to be playing the standard ones. I'm playing Dinosaur Pankratops, definitely need it. 3 Artifact Lance, just to boost up my artifact power. Depending on my matchup, I also sometimes run these Super Polymerization, and I do slide out 3 extra deck monsters for those. I got Starving Venom, my Dragon of the Swamp, and Violet Chimeras and Salamangreats will still see some play. And then the last card, it's evenly matched, just to deal with, it's a really great card going second, against, Pendulums. If you want to beat out other negates, spring this on them, then there you go. Well, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile, and I will catch you guys next time.